Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to make your red cabbage indicator fluid.
Okay, this is Dr. Hurley. I'm going to show you guys how to make an acid-based indicator with some just red cabbage. So here's my red cabbage, right? It's a big head of red cabbage. You can buy this at the store. And what we're going to do today is we're going to cook the red cabbage, and the juice that we get from the red cabbage is going to be our acid-based indicator. So first you have to cut it. So let's cut it. Take a sharp knife, and we cut it in half. And then all you're going to do now is just make little pieces of the red cabbage, like you're making a little salad. Okay, so we're going to cut it up as much as we can. Right, be careful when you use the knife. You're just going to chop it up into little pieces. And then you're going to take your pieces and you're going to put them into a pot. Here's my pot here. And we're just going to put it into there. All right. Now we're going to do a half a head of lettuce right now. All right. So when you're done that, now you're going to take the water. You can use your tap water, and you're going to pour it in here until the water just covers the leaves. And while you're doing that, you're going to turn it on to high, and then you're going to let it cook down for about 15 minutes for boiling. So turn it on, let it start boiling. Once it starts boiling for about 15 minutes, you're going to turn off the pot and let it cool down, and then we're going to take out the pieces of the shredded cabbage, and you'll see that the fluid will be turning like a purplish red. All right, so stop.
Okay, so now what I want you to do is to stop the video and go make your red cabbage fluid. And then restart the video or come back and pick up the video after you've made your red cabbage fluid to do the rest of the experiment. Okay, so now I'm going to explain how to separate your red cabbage from your fluid, and so that you have your now purple indicator, your red cabbage purple indicator fluid.
Okay, so now that we've got the stuff cooked for 15 to 20 minutes, actually 10 to 15 minutes, let it cool for about 20 minutes, and then you're going to separate the noodle, not the cabbage pieces from the liquid. You're going to save the liquid. Just to show you what the difference in color is, to show you where all the purple's coming from. There's what it was beforehand, and now this is what it looks like now. So you're just going to scoop it out with a slotted spoon, or you can use a strainer or something like that, but you want to collect the juice. Don't throw the juice away. This you can throw away or put into your recycle, your compost pile or something like that. So you're just going to pull some of this off, right? And then what you're going to do is, once you get a lot of this off, you can collect the liquid. So I'm using a slotted spoon here, which is kind of slow, but if you use a strainer, then what you're going to do is you're going to carefully pour that into there, and you can see what color it is. It's pretty purple, right? So that means that you've done this, you've got enough of the, and this is going to be your indicator for your next part of your science experiment. So separate the liquid, and then when you're done, you can put it into a container like this, or something like this, about a quart of it, and you can put that in the refrigerator and let it cool overnight, and then when it's ready, you're going to use it for your experiment. So you don't have to use it right away. You want to actually have it cool, room temperature, a little colder when you do your experiment. Right? So get all the stuff out when it's fairly warm, separate it so you have no particles in the bottom, no pieces of cabbage, and then throw the rest of the cabbage away. I don't know if you can use it for anything, food or whatever, but you can put it into your recycle bin, or your, not recycle bin, your trash or your compost. All right, so we'll come back and I'll show you how to use the cabbage juice for your indicator later.
Okay, so now what you're going to do is stop the video and go separate your cabbage from your juice and get that all cleaned up and stored, and then put that in the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and then let it cool down, and then you can get ready to go and do your the rest of the experiment. Okay, here is our experimental procedure that we're going to use now that you have your cabbage juice made. Now, I've given you a list of potential ideas for samples on the next part of the video, so you can fast forward if you want to. But what you're going to do is obtain 6 or 7 small, clear, colorless cups or glasses to do the experiment in. Small means about 6 ounces or less. Juice glasses, some people have these little half glasses that they pour morning juice in, are perfectly fine. Some people always have these little things called punch bowl cups, which are little plastic polycarbonate clear cups that hold about 4 to 5 ounces of fluid, and then you put them next to a punch bowl. If you have those are excellent too, because you don't need a lot of volume. If you do not have small, clear, colorless glassware, do not go buy new stuff. Just use a regular clear glass and just use only the bottom portion of it. That's all you need. Okay? The samples that you're going to be putting into it are mostly going to be food type of samples, so it should be fairly safe. I can't stress this enough. I'm going to say it again later on in the video. Do not use anything that is toxic or dangerous to the human body. Right? Use things that are fairly benign to the human body, or that we put on or eat. So what you're going to do then is you're going to select your samples, and you're going to pour 10 milliliters of the sample into each cup. So 1 sample per cup. If you want to test something like sugar, you're going to have to first dissolve it. Okay? Once you have your samples in your cup into liquid form, you're going to add about 50 to 60 milliliters of the cabbage juice that you made. That's about 5 times the volume that should be in the cup already. Gently hand swirl this mixture for about 30 seconds and then allow it to sit for approximately 2 minutes before you start looking at what the new color is. Right? Record and look at the color and compare it to the chart later on in the video. Rank your samples from lowest to most acidic to highest, most basic materials. Now here's the key. When you're done, you're going to rinse each of your samples down the drain and then hand wash the cups with dish soap first, and then if you have a dishwasher, then run them through the dishwasher to sterilize them fully. If you have using plastic cups, you can either rinse them out and dispose them in your recycle stream, or if you're like me, I tend to try to use them again. I'm going to rinse them out, and then I would run them through my dishwasher top shelf if you wanted to use it again. So that's your procedure. If there's any questions, let me know. Now here are some things that you can test for your pH experiment. Now I want to severely stress the following statement. You do not want to test anything that's toxic or dangerous in your house. So things like gasoline, hazardous cleaning products like Drano, things like wasp killer, hornets killer, whatever. Anything that is toxic to the human body, you do not want to test it, right? Or explosive. Gasoline's explosive. Keep things simple and safe. So test like food stuff. There are things that you would put in your food or your mouth, such as toothpaste, mouthwash, things like that. Now, there is Pine Sol on here and Windex, right? And those are common household products. Yes, they are toxic if you drink or use a lot of it, right? But normally when you use Pine Sol, it's like a little teaspoon for every gallon of water. So you just want to use a couple of drops of this or this if that's what you want to go. If you want to test a solid, first of all, if it has to be partially or mostly soluble in water, so for example, aspirin here, and toothpaste, and baking soda, you would first have to, you first have to dissolve that in water. So put it in water, swirl it around for a minute or two, and then decant the water. That's your sample. Don't use any of the solids that are left over. The actual material that would turn the red cabbage juice a color is dissolved in the water, right? It's not in the solid in the bottom. So what you're going to do is if you want to use toothpaste, Put a little toothpaste in the bottom of a cup, add some water to it, swirl it around, let it settle, and then just pour the water that has the materials from the toothpaste in it. All right. So there's your list. Again, you want to be safe. Use safe things around your house. Do not use anything that's dangerous, toxic, catches on flame, catches flammable. Use basically food type of products. Okay, so once you've done your experiment and you've got your containers with your different colored solutions in it, what you're going to do is use this chart to help you define what is the expected pH for that fluid. So for example, let's say you come up with a fluid that is purple. So you're going to say, well, it looks more, it doesn't look like this purple, and it doesn't look like this purple. It more looks like this purple. So you're going to say it's somewhere around 6. So you would say that fluid has a pH of around 6. If you think it's somewhere between this purple and this bluish purple, more blue than purple, you might say, well, it's closer to 7. Same thing here. This is more of a lime green yellow. This is more of an orange yellow. So if you think it's closer to this, you're going to say 12. If it's closer to this, you might say 14 or 13, right? There's no right or wrong answer. Basically, what I'm saying is, based on your color, you're going to do your best you can to assign a number to it. And then you're going to use those numbers to rank your materials from the most acidic, which will be down in here, so more reddish, to least acidic, which will be more orangish yellowish. And this would be the most basic. So then you would say, okay, I have a pH of this fluid is 1, and then this fluid is 3, and then 6, and then 9, and then maybe 13. And so you're going to rank them. And that's what you're going to record on your list. Okay? So again, rank them from most acidic to most alkaline or most basic. Remember, a pH of 7 is considered to be neutral. All right, that's it. Have fun with it.